The air in the small, warmly lit compound still carried the faint scent of jollof rice and roasted plantains from the wedding feast 2 days prior. Kwame and Ajua were finally married, a union celebrated by half of Accra, or so it had seemed to the exhausted couple. They had retreated to Kwame's childhood home for their first week of marriage, a decision Ajua was beginning to question. It wasn't the house. The house was lovely, with its cool terrazzo floors and wide windows that let in the evening breeze. It was the house's other occupant, Mama Ya, Kwame's grandmother. Mama Ya was a woman of formidable presence. Though she walked with a cane and her hair was the color of spun silver, her eyes missed nothing. She had raised Kwame since he was a boy, and to say she was protective was an understatement of epic proportions. The first night had been a trial run. Adjoa had barely closed her eyes when she heard the distinct thump-thump of Mama Ya's cane down the hallway. The bedroom door creaked open. Adjoa held her breath, feigning sleep. "Kwame," came a raspy whisper. "Kwame, are you covered?" The night air is treacherous. Kwame, snoring softly, didn't stir. A shadow moved across the room. Adjoa peeked through her eyelashes to see Mama Ya standing over the bed, peering critically at the duvet. She tutted softly, reached out, and yanked the blanket entirely over Kwame's shoulders, leaving Adjoa shivering in the breeze of the ceiling fan. "Good," Mama Ya muttered before shuffling out. The second night, Adjoa was prepared. She had secured the duvet firmly on her side. At 2 a.m., the thump-thump returned. The door opened. Mama Ya didn't whisper this time. She stood at the foot of the bed and cleared her throat. Loudly. Kwame jerked awake. "Mama? Is everything okay?" "I am just checking," Mama Ya said, her tone implying she had found them wanting. "Did she give you water before bed?" "A man needs water to digest his food properly." Adjoa sat up, rubbing her eyes. "Mama Ya, I gave him a glass of water at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is not midnight, my daughter," Mama Ya replied sagely. "A man's throat can dry up in 2 hours. See how his lips look parched?" Kwame, whose lips were perfectly fine, sighed. "Mama, I'm okay. Please go back to sleep." "I will sleep when I know my grandson is not dehydrating in his own bed," she retorted, turning on her heel. "Bring him water, Adjoa. Room temperature. Cold water shocks the system." Adjoa dutifully fetched the water. Kwame drank it apologetically. By the third night, Adjoa decided a change in tactics was necessary. If she couldn't beat the midnight inspector, she would join her. She set an alarm for 1:45 a.m. When it vibrated under her pillow, she slipped out of bed, wrapped herself in a vibrant kente cloth, and tiptoed to the kitchen. She brewed a small pot of chamomile tea, arranged 2 cups on a tray, and waited. At 2 a.m., the familiar thump-thump began. As Mama Ya reached the bedroom door, Adjoa stepped out of the shadows holding the tray. Mama Ya stopped, her eyes narrowing. "What is this?" "I was just coming to check on you, Mama Ya," Adjoa said, her voice dripping with sweet concern. "The night air is treacherous, and I worried your throat might be dry. A woman needs tea to soothe her bones, especially when she's working so hard to watch over her family." Mama Ya looked at the tea, then at Adjoa. For a long moment, the silence stretched between them, thick with unspoken challenges. Then slowly, the corners of Mama Ya's mouth twitched. A low chuckle escaped her lips, rumbling in her chest. "You are a clever girl," Mama Ya said, taking a cup. "Chamomile?" "Yes, Mama." "Good. It helps with digestion." Mama Ya took a sip, nodding in approval. "He's sleeping?" "Like a baby," Adjoa smiled. "Make sure he doesn't kick off the blankets," Mama Ya instructed, turning back toward her room. "And Adjoa?" "Yes, Mama Ya. Tomorrow night, make it ginger tea, chamomiles for the week." Adjoa laughed softly as the thump-thump faded down the hall. She returned to bed, pulled the duvet evenly over both of them, and finally slept through the night. The midnight inspector had been appeased, at least for now.